Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. US President Joe Biden will host President-elect Donald Trump for a meeting later today. The meeting at the White House will mark the commencement of the transfer of presidential power. This comes after Biden promised a peaceful transition last week. Trump has named Tesla CEO Elon Musk as co-head of a new US government department that he plans to bring in, the Department of Government Efficiency. The entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy will also head the department alongside Musk. Meanwhile, Trump has nominated South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem as America's next Homeland Security Secretary. Trump has tapped John Ratcliffe for the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, and Fox News host Pete Hegseth has been nominated for the Defense Secretary's post. A New York state judge has halted legal proceedings against Trump until November 19th. The criminal case involves Trump's hush money payment to an adult film star. Trump was charged with 34 felonies. The judge was expected to rule on the case yesterday. Jack Tehran, who leaked secret Pentagon documents last year, has been sentenced to 15 years in prison. The 22-year-old former soldier from the US Air National Guard had leaked high-profile intelligence documents. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that another Iranian attack on Israel would cripple Iran's economy. Netanyahu added, and I quote, "The tyrants of Tehran are putting Iranian families in grave danger." He said that the cost of Iran's recent attack on Israel amounted to $2.3 billion. This comes after Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei threatened Israel and the US with a crushing response. Israeli Defense Forces say they have dismantled most of Hezbollah's weapons and missile facilities in the southern part of Lebanon's capital, Beirut. The IDF also released footage showing strikes in Beirut's suburb of Dahiyeh. The strikes purportedly caused major damage to Hezbollah's infrastructure. The Yemen-based Houthi rebels claim that they conducted two military operations against American warships in the Arabian Sea and the Red Sea. The first operation targeted a US aircraft carrier in the Arabian Sea with missiles and drones. The second attack targeted two US destroyers in the Red Sea. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a three-nation tour between November 16th and 21st. He will be in Nigeria on November 16th and 17th at the invitation of President Bola Tinubu. After that, the Indian Prime Minister will travel to Brazil's Rio de Janeiro to attend the G20 summit. Then he will visit Guyana on November 19th at the invitation of President Irfan Ali. The Dutch police have arrested 6 people for defying a protest ban. The ban was in place after pro-Palestine violence erupted in Amsterdam. On November 11th, stick-wielding men set a tram on fire while using anti-Jewish slurs. The riot followed an attack on Israeli football fans last week. At least 35 people were killed in China's Zhuhai after a driver rammed his car into them. 43 others were injured. The incident took place at a sports complex. The British author Samantha Harvey has won the 2024 Booker Prize. She won the coveted honor for her space fiction novel, Orbital. The 136-page book was praised by the Booker panel for its language of lyricism. A total of 5 women were shortlisted for the Booker Prize this year, the most in the award's 56-year history. In climate news, Ilham Aliyev, the president of Azerbaijan, has said that oil, gas and natural resources are a gift from God. This is despite the fact that his country is currently hosting the COP29 UN Climate Summit. Aliyev also slammed Western critics of Azerbaijan's oil and gas industry. He claimed that his country is a victim of a campaign of slander and blackmail over its oil and gas production. Global carbon dioxide emissions are on track to reach a record 41.6 billion metric tons in 2024. Last year, the emissions stood at 40.6 billion tons. This is according to the Global Carbon Budget report released at the COP29 in Azerbaijan. Most of the emissions stem from fossil fuels like coal, oil and gas. A dense smog covered India's capital New Delhi and nearby regions, severely impacting visibility. New Delhi's air quality index rose to the severe level, exceeding the 400 mark. The AQI was in the very poor category has been in the very poor category for the last 2 weeks. Strong winds and dry conditions along the New York-New Jersey border hampered efforts to control the Jennings Creek fire. The wildfire has burned 5,000 acres of land in the Passaic County of New Jersey. The U.S. National Weather Service has issued a high alert in parts of New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. A forest fire in Quilpue city of central Chile has triggered an evacuation alert. The fire, impacting the municipalities of Quilpue and Villa Alemana, has already burned around 100 acres of vegetation. Authorities have deployed fire brigades and aircraft to combat the blaze. In flood-hit areas near Spain's Valencia, residents are bracing for another potential storm. The country's National Weather Service issued an orange alert, forecasting up to 120 millimeters of rain in 12 hours, though the storm is expected to be less severe than the recent catastrophic one that killed over 200 people. Heavy rains and landslides devastated the central Peruvian town of Huánuco. The area received a month's worth of rainfall within 2 hours. The rainfall led to flooding and mudslides. It destroyed at least 30 homes and partially damaged 300 others. A Dutch court has reversed a historic 2021 ruling against the British oil giant Shell. The latest ruling said that Shell is already doing what is expected of it. The case relates to Shell's plans to cut greenhouse gas emissions from its businesses. In 2021, a lower Dutch court ruled that Shell must reduce its emissions by 45% by the year 2030. On to business and tech news. The U.S. oil and gas industry is calling on President-elect Donald Trump to scrap Biden administration policies. The industry urged Trump to roll back limits on vehicle emissions intended to promote electric vehicles. The group also sought export permits for liquefied natural gas facilities. The American oil giant ExxonMobil has reportedly reached a deal to sell its assets in the Permian Basin. Exxon reportedly aims to focus on more profitable sites. The assets are being sold to oil exploration firm Hillcorp Energy for about $1 billion. The German car maker Volkswagen is raising its investment in the American electric vehicle firm Rivian. It will now invest $5.8 billion in Rivian by 2027, up from an earlier plan of $5 billion. The investment will be made through a joint venture between Volkswagen and Rivian. The German car maker says it aims to use Rivian's software and engineering across multiple vehicles. The Chinese battery maker CATL says it may consider building a plant in the US. The firm's founder and chairman, Robin Zeng, said that they would invest if President-elect Trump allows it. Zeng mentioned that they wanted to invest in the US, but the previous government had blocked it. American aviation parts supplier Spirit Aerosystems will receive advance payments from plane makers Boeing and Airbus. Boeing will provide Spirit Aerosystems with up to $350 million. Meanwhile, Airbus will make an advance payment of $107 million. The Kansas-based Spirit Aerosystems has been struggling with massive losses. Earlier, it warned that it may not be able to pay bills within the next 12 months. The United States is reportedly inquiring into Russian clients of the Swiss banking giant, the UBS Group. The U.S. Office of Foreign Assets Control, the agency responsible for enforcing sanctions, is leading the inquiry. The probe concerns Russian customers of UBS that the bank received after it acquired its rival Credit Suisse last year. The Japanese retailer 7&I Holdings is reportedly planning to go private. The 7-Eleven store chain operator plans to buy out its shares listed on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. The deal could be valued at over $58 billion. The move comes as 7&I Holdings has been under pressure to consider a takeover offer. The Indian food delivery startup Swiggy debuted on the stock market today. The firm's share price rose by over 2% compared to the listing price. Swiggy's $1.4 billion initial public offering garnered over 3 times the bids last week. The share prices of South Korean chip giant Samsung Electronics fell by over 4% today. This marks the lowest level the firm has seen in more than 4 years. Analysts say that investors are concerned that Samsung may be affected by potential tariff plans that Donald Trump has proposed. The new U.S. president-elect plans to impose a 60% tariff on China. Analysts note that Samsung is more reliant on its Chinese clients compared to its peers. OpenAI co-founder Greg Brockman has returned to the company as president. Brockman had been on a sabbatical for the past 3 months. He called it the longest vacation of his life. This comes as the ChatGPT maker OpenAI has seen several of its top executives depart. This includes names like co-founders Ilya Sutskever, John Schulman, and the CTO Mira Murati. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. India will face South Africa today in the third of their ongoing 4-match T20 international series. India won the opener in Durban on November 8th, but South Africa levelled the series after beating India in the second match. The winner of today's match will take a 2-1 lead in the series. England's Reece Topley has been fined by the International Cricket Council for smashing a chair. Topley smashed the chair after injuring his knee during England's T20 series opener against the West Indies. The English fast bowler was fined 15% of his match fee by the ICC. In football, Argentina's Justice Department has launched an investigation into illegal sports betting. This came after a Buenos Aires football club fielded a social media influencer during a match on November 11th. The 24-year-old YouTuber had no professional football experience, but he was still given a contract to play at the club. Turkish club Ankaragucu's former president, Faruk Koka, has been sentenced to 3 years and 7 months in prison. He was convicted for intentionally wounding a referee during a match in December 2023. Koka was seen punching a referee in the face and fracturing his eye socket. In tennis, world number 1 Jannik Sinner beat 5th-ranked Taylor Fritz in an ATP Finals match. Sinner got past the American 6-4, 6-4 in straight sets. This was his second consecutive win in the ATP Finals. Sinner is now in strong contention for a semi-final spot at the event. World number 4 Daniil Medvedev secured his first win at the ATP Finals. The Russian beat Australia's Alex de Minaur 6-2, 6-4 yesterday. Medvedev had lost his ATP Finals opener to Taylor Fritz, but with this win, Medvedev is back in contention for the semi-finals of the tournament. In badminton, India's PV Sindhu began her Japan Masters campaign with a comfortable win over Thailand's Husanana Avam Rumphun. Sindhu beat her Thai opponent 21-12, 21-8 in the opening round of the tournament. Sindhu won the match in just 38 minutes. In hockey, India registered their second win in the Women's Asian Champions Trophy. The hosts beat South Korea 3-2 in the Indian state of Bihar. India took an early lead with a third-minute goal by Sangeeta Kumari. Deepika Kumari scored the second goal in the 20th minute. But South Korea mounted a strong comeback in the third quarter. The visitors scored in the 34th and 38th. But a 57th-minute penalty helped India seal the game. In boxing, Olympic medalist Sarah Uraman withdrew her bid to become the president of the French Boxing Federation. The Rio Olympic silver medalist cited racist and sexist attacks as the reason for her withdrawal. Uraman had been campaigning in a joint bid alongside the current president, Dominique Nato. Formula One race director Niels Wittich has stepped down with immediate effect. F1's governing body, the FIA, said that Wittich has left his role to pursue new opportunities. Rui Marquez will take over as F1 race director from next week, ahead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. In entertainment news, American actor John Krasinski has been named the People's Sexiest Man Alive for 2024. When he got to know about this honor, he said that he had zero thoughts in his head. Krasinski began his career in the 2000s and has delivered a number of hits with projects like The Office and A Quiet Place. The rapper Sean Diddy Combs is reportedly held in the 4th North Unit of the Metropolitan Detention Center, a dorm-style area with amenities like air hockey, music access, and healthier meals. The unit reportedly includes grates with holes in the walls, allegedly allowing male inmates to see and communicate with female prisoners. The rapper is facing charges of sexual assault and racketeering. Olivia Rodrigo has announced her first headline stadium shows in Brazil and Mexico for 2025. The Grammy-winning singer will perform in Brazil on March 26th and in Mexico City on April 2nd. These new dates will complement Rodrigo's extensive 2024 Guts World Tour, which saw massive success with 95 sold-out shows across over 60 cities. The Songwriters Hall of Fame has unveiled the list of the 2025 nominees. Notable names include Eminem, Boy George, Sheryl Crow, Janet Jackson, Alanis Morissette, the Doobie Brothers, and NWA. Bryan Adams and Mike Love also made the cut. Apple Studios and A24 are teaming up to bring Michael Lewis's best-selling book, Going Infinite, The Rise and Fall of a New Tycoon, to the big screen. Released in October 2023, the book delves into the meteoric rise and shocking collapse of Sam Bankman-Fried. He was the founder of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. India's official entry for the Oscars 2025, Lapata Ladies or Lost Ladies, has launched its Academy Awards campaign with a newly revealed poster. The poster highlights the film's main characters, Fool and Ajaya, hinting at their journey. Lapata Ladies is a humorous satire on patriarchy and addressing issues of gender equality. Timothée Chalamet revealed in an interview that he meticulously prepared for the role of Bob Dylan. He prepared for 5 years and learned 13 classic Dylan songs. He worked closely with a harmonica coach to capture Dylan's distinct sound. He also embarked on a road trip to retrace Dylan's early life from Hibbing, Minnesota to Chicago, immersing himself in the iconic musician's journey. Lupita Nyong'o has joined the high-profile cast of Christopher Nolan's upcoming as yet untitled film. Alongside her will be an impressive lineup of A-list talent, including Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Anne Hathaway. As with most of Nolan's projects, the plot details and the film's genre remain tightly under wraps. The film is set for a theatrical release on July 17, 2026. It's expected to begin shooting in early 2025. Netflix's live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender has expanded its cast for the upcoming second season. 8 new actors have joined the series, namely Chin Han, Amanda Zhu and Rekha Sharma, among others. The new additions will join returning cast members like Gordon Cormier, Elizabeth Yu and Daniel Day Kim. Avatar: The Last Airbender is currently in production. Hollywood icon Denzel Washington has confirmed that he will be joining the cast of the upcoming Black Panther film. Washington shared that director Ryan Coogler is currently crafting a role specifically for him. The Marvel Cinematic Universe's Black Panther series has kept fans eagerly waiting for updates on its next chapter. Black Panther debuted in 2018. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to Firstpost.